Legs crossed, back straight, eyes closed. Breathing in through our noses and out through our mouths. Deep, long breaths. Feel that power of you controlling your breathing. Feel that power of you keeping your back straight and your eyes closed, even if it's uncomfortable, even if it's slightly painful. That's your true power. That's your determination. So use that power here, now, and forever. And see in your mind today how you will do when that music goes on as we work in the gym of life. But you gotta see it in your mind right now if you want to bring it out into the world. See yourself doing the best you can on all the stretches or exercises that we choose and do together here today, right here, right now, wherever we are. Because you were born to do that. You were born to use your determination to see in your mind what you want to create and then make real as you open your eyes and live your life.
Magic System, Red One, Shawty. Comme d'habitude on est calé, comme toujours ça va aller. On te met l'ambiance à gogo, tous ensemble on fait le show.
On t'invite à la magie, y a pas de raccourci. Oublie tes soucis, et viens faire la folie.
On t'invite à la magie, y a pas de raccourci. Oublie tes soucis. Oh, 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 oh. C'est pas seulement pour les bobos, nous on vient dans nos mambo. Mon ami, si tu as le niveau, rejoins-nous pour t'enjailler.
On t'invite à la magie, y a pas de raccourci. Oublie tes soucis, et viens faire la folie.
On t'invite à la magie, y a pas de raccourci. Oublie tes soucis. Oh, 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 oh. Grade One. Est-ce que ça marche? Ça va pas. On vient du ghetto pour aller plus haut avec les magiciens. C'est Ready Go. On vient du ghetto pour aller plus haut avec les magiciens. Oh, oh, oh.
A ver, Leonel, pon el 2-2, va el zurdo, Messi, ¡gol!
Good morning, everybody. Want us to look at ourselves today in a different way. And from here on in, I want us to think of ourselves each and every moment as being the CEO of our own lives. So you are the chief executive officer of your life. Your life is your business. It is your brand. It is you. It is the truest and most deepest and greatest part of you. So how do we go on this path together from going from mind power to mind wealth? And that mind wealth can create that freedom and happiness that we desire in any form. We look at every decision as a CEO's decision. So every decision you make, your job is to respond to the positive thoughts, to fill your mind up with as much positive energy as possible, because positive equals profits. That's the way I want you to look at it. Negative responses equal losses. Have a great day, everybody.
Hey all, it's Brendan, and I'm in the studio in Portland, and I've been on the road like crazy. And since my last vlog to you all on YouTube, where I talked about my event routines and how I recover from such difficult events, you know, where I'm going 4 or 5 days on stage, I got tons of questions about something I left out, which was, how do you manage your sleep while you're traveling? Like, what are your evening routines? So I'm gonna talk about that in this vlog, but I'm also in the studio to shoot some live casts, so I thought I'd give you a little behind the scenes. This is what it looks like for those who have not seen it before. It's a pretty simple setup. We've got the big boom up here. We've got, oh, that's cool. It's kind of awkward and weird, but you can see me right there. We got the 2 C100 Beasts, which I've shot like, I think 28 online courses on this thing. Anyway, I basically stand here. So if you've ever seen one of my live casts before that I used to shoot in Portland, it was basically standing kind of like right here. And then I would put the flip chart, which is now over there, I would put it right here, and then I would teach. And for those who don't know, I go live and I do teaching and training every month for literally hours and hours. I think I do like 2, 3, 4, 5 hours every once a month on a Friday. So this is kind of the setup, and that's why I'm in town to shoot something for the peeps, which is awesome. But I thought I'd take this question on. Let me see, I got my notes over here somewhere for you guys. So how do I manage my sleep when I'm on the road? I'm always asked about that, and I thought I would sit with you guys and chat about that. I got my notes here. So how do I do it? You know, first, if you have not watched that video of how I manage my energy at our events, I think that would be really instructive to see what my daily routine looks like in terms of performance to be able to do 40 plus hours on stage at events. But the number one question we got was like, okay, how are you managing sleep at your events? But also, how do you just have a better evening routine? So I want to talk, I know not everybody here, you're on stage for 40 hours, you know, in a week. So instead, let me just share what my basic evening routine and philosophy is, and I hope that will serve you. The first thing, oh gosh, it's so nice to be back in the studio, guys. The first thing that I always think about is your evening routine is completely dictated by the quality of your daily structure. And what I mean by that is, often our evening is completely destroyed because we didn't organize our day. And so now our day is encroaching into our evening and we become exhausted. We don't get enough sleep, or we carry our stress into bed, which ruins our sleep. So I think one of the most important things you have to learn to do is better structure your day. That's my first tip for you. Structure and organize your day so you are so clear about what you are doing, when you are doing it, how long you are doing it for, and most importantly, what are your major outputs and major intentions for the day. So this is why many of you guys know I use what I got. I got the High Performance Planner somewhere around here. You don't have one, you should get one. I got the High Performance Planner. I use this every single morning, and it just keeps my intentions clear. It keeps my tasks clear. It keeps my mind on my own performance so that I can't, make a lot of excuses. It just gets me in a good morning mindset, sets the day up right, and makes me win week over week, month over month. And I hope you'll get one this time of year. It's awesome. We also, I think, outside of just structuring your day well, is having that intention in your mind to enjoy the day. So yeah, structure and organize the day, but enjoy it. Find moments of peace and gratitude or love or creativity or passion. Because if you enjoy the day, if you love the day, if you have positive energy during the day, it's so much easier to go rest easily at night because you feel fulfilled, you feel grateful, you feel in a positive mindset. So I would say, my first big idea about evening routines, structure the day and fill it with enrichment and joy and gratitude, and you'll sleep better. Then my real evening routine begins, which is what I call my 3-2-1 pattern. And what this means is 3 hours before bed. And yes, I set a time every night that is when I'm going to bed. So if I say, okay, it's going to be midnight, or it's going to be 11, or it's going to be 10, whatever, I always know what time I'm going to bed. And I work backwards from that. So the 3-2-1. 3 hours before bed, I never eat any food. That's really critical. Honestly, for me, it's probably usually 4 to 4.5 hours, but minimum expectations, I will not eat 3 hours before bed. I just think your digestion system needs a little bit of a processing time before you go horizontal, So that's the 3. The 2 is I don't do any work 2 hours before bed. For me, that means no email, no social media, no DMs, no looking at anything on my phone or screen that is work or social media related in the 2-hour block of time before bed. And this really sets me apart because I know most people, they're still scrolling in bed and they're wondering, and they're getting that light from their phone. They're getting that dopamine drop. The more they scroll, the more their brain gets excited, and they don't realize it's ruining their sleep 4 or 5 hours later. That comes back to haunt you. So just put the phone away, or if you have to look at it for your messages or something real fast before, maybe 30 minutes before going to bed. But my rule is 2 hours before bed, no work, no email, no social media, no news, and that is letting my mind wind down.
Gonna do the 2-step, then cowboy boogie. Grab a sweetheart and spin out with him. Do the hold down and get into it. Take it to the left now and dip with it. Gon' throw down, take a sip with it. Now lean back, put your hips in it. Let's have some fun. To the left now. To the right. Now take your left hand and put it on your side. Gon' roll your shoulders, do the slip and slide. This next part's my favorite part, cause it's time to shine. Gonna do the 2-step, then cowboy boogie. Grab a sweetheart and spin out with him. Do the hold down and get into it. Take it to the left now and dip with it. Gon' throw down, take a sip with it. Now lean back, put your hips in it. It's simple, you can do it. Slide to the left, slide to the right. Now cool down, have a good time. Slide to the left, slide to the right. Do the butterfly, have a good time. Round, round, round and round you go. It's time to show out right now and take to the floor. Gonna do do the two-step, then cowboy boogie. Grab a sweetheart and spin out with him. Do the hold down and get into it. Take it to the left now and dip with it. Gon' throw down, take a sip with it. Now lean back, put your hips in it. Take it down now, take it down now. Take it down now, take it down now. Bring it up now, bring it up now. Bring it up now, bring it up now. Take it down and crisscross. Bring it up now, crisscross. Do whatever you like right here. Just have fun. Gonna do the two-step, then cowboy boogie. Grab a sweetheart and spin out with him. Do the hold down and get into it. Take it to the left now and dip with it. Gon' throw down, take a sip with it. Now lean back, put your hips in it. That was not so bad. That was not so bad, was it? That was not so bad. That was not so bad, was it? That was not so bad. That was not so bad, was it? That was not so bad. That was not so bad, was it? Gonna do the two-step, then cowboy boogie. Grab a sweetheart and spin out with him. Do the hold down and get into it. Take it to the left now and dip with it. Gon' throw down, take a sip with it. Now lean back, put your hips in it.
Insiste la Argentina con Paredes, viene el cuarto y lo canto. ¡Gol!
Hi again, everyone. We are on the final page of Satguru's wisdom and sharing his top 10 rules for success. And my favorite one, or one of my favorites, is number 10, which is always do your best. It's really simple. You hear it all the time, either from our parents, from family members, friends, teachers. Always do your best. It is not easy to do because in a moment when we've made a mistake, we tend to dwell on the fact that we experienced a sense of loss. Let's free ourselves from that by falling in love with the process of what we're trying to create. We're trying to create our best self. That is the business that is our responsibility. It's the business of living. So as we go on this path from going from mind power to mind wealth, let's be freed by the fact that we're all going to make lots of mistakes. But if we're doing our best each and every moment to learn from every decision, then we're already there. We're in that process. Have a great day, everybody.
Wealth Breakthroughs is an exclusive video series where millionaires break their silence on their usually hidden secrets on how to stack up great wealth. It's like eavesdropping on the private conversations rich folks have with each other behind closed doors. But I partnered with the series creator Jeff Hayes to bring that VIP pass to you right here today. In this episode, you'll learn how to train your mind for wealth, how to 50x your investments, why $500 a day can keep a real job away, and how to not get scammed. Don't miss this episode if you're serious about your financial freedom. Enjoy.
Hello and welcome to episode 2 of Wealth Breakthroughs. I'm Patrick Gentempo, and I'm even more excited about the lineup we have for this episode 2 than I was for episode 1. We're going to start with Dean Graziosi, author of, amongst other famous titles, Millionaire Success Habits. From mindset to confidence to real estate strategies, talking to Dean is like catching lightning in a bottle. He's one of the most infectiously upbeat, enthusiastic experts I've ever spoken with. When Dean walks into a room, you can feel the energy in the room change. He has laser-sharp ideas on why, without the right mindset, finding your wealth breakthrough is next to impossible. Thankfully, he's also ready to share with you exactly how you can train your mind to make your wealth breakthroughs a reality. Here's Dean. lot of anticipation for this interview, Dean. Thanks so much for taking the time.
It's good to be here, man.
So you're well known. Even people in our crew were excited that you were coming when they heard you're coming for our Wealth Breakthrough interview. Tell us your story. How'd you get to be doing what you're doing?
Yeah, and first off, it's good to be here with you, man. And I love all you're doing for the world. Seriously.
Thank you. And likewise.
The world needs more of it, access to knowledge and information, inspiration, tactics. I'll tell my story just so everyone watching knows that wherever you are, I get it. Because I know what it's like to be broke and hope for more, have envy that others are getting ahead, feeling like you're being left behind, trying to get that first sale, know you have more to give the world, but you don't know where to start. And then once you start, you don't know how to get the wheels spinning, right? But I know what it's like to get to 100 grand a year and be like, oh my God, I made it. But then I realized that wasn't it. And get to 100 grand a month and 100 grand a week and 100 grand a day and 100 grand by 10 in the morning. So I've been at every one of those pieces and have failed miserably in between. Sleepless nights, an ulcer and stuff because you're so stressed. But over time, your knowledge, your failures, the things you go after, they go from knowledge to wisdom. And when I look back now, I realize that was my journey, and I'm so blessed I wouldn't change one bit of it. And when people say, is it worth it? It's like, hell yes. What's the opposite of going for it? Right. Being at the end of your life. And I know you asked me about my story. I just want to back up and give you some of the things that drive me is I always think of at the end of my life, if you're sitting with your maker, God, whoever you believe in, you're sitting next to him, and you say, well, and he asks you how your life was, and you go, well, I was going to go for it. But, my wife wasn't always on my side, or I lived in the wrong area, or my husband, he had his career. I didn't want to disturb him in any way, or I didn't have the intelligence, or I wasn't born with money. I believe our maker would be like, oh my God, another one. Like, I made you human. I put you on earth. I gave you limitless potential. And I think about that all the time. And that's why I think doesn't matter where you are, we heard that a million times, it only matters if you can gain the capabilities and you have the stamina to keep going. So what I hope, and the reason I flew up here to be with you and want to do this interview is I hope at the end of this, even if just one person gets the inspiration to go, or one person gets a tactic that we share, that's enough, right? Take what serves you from this interview, throw the rest away, So I'll go back to my story here, but.
So let me ask you a quick question before you do that. Do you think you've learned more from your failures or your successes?
Yeah, hands down from my failures.
Hands down.
Yeah.
So it's tuition,
basically. And you don't like it.
Yeah.
Like when sometimes people say, embrace your failures. Failing sucks. It's the worst feeling in the world when you're in the middle of it. You're not going, thank you, God. I was looking forward to this next failure. But what you realize, especially looking back now, and we've been in this game for so long as an entrepreneur and in the self-education industry, it's my next level of life always lived on the other side of my biggest failure or my biggest fear. Right? The fear that you ignore, that's the one that you need to freaking tackle. That's the mountain you have to climb or you're going to stay where you are. And we all know 5 years goes by like this, right?
It reminds me of the Joseph Campbell quote, in the cave you fear most is the knowledge you seek.
Yeah, exactly.
So in your own story then, you tell us a little bit about the milestones.
Yeah, so I'll just pop through the milestones. So in high school, if I go all the way back to high school, wasn't a great student, had dyslexia, really just didn't want to be a part of school at all. By 11th grade, I was out of school by 11 o'clock in the morning. I did gym, math, and English, and I think I was out. Maybe ceramics, maybe ceramic class. Because I had dyslexia and because I felt inferior being in school, I just was going to go to work, right? But I guess if I go back, you don't realize this stuff when you're in it. It's retrospect. It's hindsight. It's looking backwards. Is what I realized at a really young age, Patrick, is that both my parents worked really hard. My parents were married 9 times between them. I watched them move all over. So they were struggling to be happy. They were struggling financially. I lived in a trailer park until we got evicted from it. And my mom worked 3 jobs to make $90 a week. My dad worked in a collision shop all day, all night, come home, dirty hands and paint fumes, give him a headache, but he had to do it. And what I realized at a young age, I don't know when it was, is that hard work had nothing to do with success. And again, it wasn't like an epiphany, like I'm going to go out and find mentors, but that's how it led. It's like, I love my dad, I love my mom, but they're stressed all the freaking time. They never have any money and they're not really that happy. And they were looking for a relationship to make them happy now that I look back, and that wasn't doing it either because they weren't internally happy, but they couldn't find time to work on themselves because they had to worry about paying the bills. And it was a really, like this epiphany at a young age. Again, I said it wasn't like the sky parted, but I realized hard work didn't do it. And then I realized if you could get money out of the way, like money solves problems. It does. If somebody says money doesn't buy happiness, that's not. They haven't given enough money away. They haven't given enough meals away. They haven't helped somebody. Like money solves problems. And I realized that at a young age, and I went after it. Like I was just hungry for it. And if I look back, and I always tell everybody, find a burning desire. We all need that, and you've heard it a million times. But mine was my mom. She worked 3 jobs. She'd come home at night. Literally, her hands hurt. She got arthritis young. Her legs would hurt. Her back would hurt because she was cleaning houses and sweeping floors and cutting hair. And I just remember saying, I don't care what it takes. I'm going to make money and retire my mom. Right? And that was the first lesson I learned on having a compelling future. It's like I'm retiring my mom, which I did in my 20s. But so I realized that didn't work. I found some older people in my town that my dad didn't even like. It's a small town of 5,000 people, Patrick. And it's like small town, half the town, 3/4 of the town was Italian, Catholic, everybody's rumors on the weekends at church. Like it was just a fun little town. And my dad wasn't the happiest with these guys, but I became friends with a couple of guys, 60, 70. One guy was almost 80 years old. And they just had different habits. They treated people differently. They felt like they just had a different sense of peace, but they were the wealthiest people in town, also happy, also good parents, good husbands, and I was like, I want to do more what they do and less of what my parents do. Not disrespectful. And it took me down a path. When I was 17 years old, I had a firewood business. By 18, I was fixing wrecked cars. I'd fix them up and sell them. By 19, I bought my first house with no money down, fixed it up, sold it. By 20, I had 22 apartments. I had a collision shop. By 22, collision shop. By 24, I had tow truck company, auto sales company, real estate company. I had apartments. Then I started buying raw land, subdividing, and then building houses.
How did you start getting in? Because these are not related things that you're talking about. Real estate and tow shops, they're not in the same category of business. Was it just circumstances that led you in those directions?
I think so. Yeah. If I look back, the 3 guys that I told you about in my town were all in real estate. My dad was in a collision shop. So collision shop got me there. I wanted to go to real estate because I just said, wealthy people do real estate. I'm going to do that. And desperation and stupidity are a magical combination. And you could think back in your own life, right? When people said, oh, you can't buy real estate with no money down, I was stupid and naive enough to go, yeah, I think other people do it. I saw a guy on TV doing it, right? And being desperate to get away from a painful situation. Both of those were such drivers that I got in my first deal. And so I want to back up a little bit. I just want to put myself out there to really understand something. At 22 years old, I was working with my dad in his collision shop. He made me a 25% partner. All my friends at maybe 21, maybe 20, all my friends had gone off to college. One was in Miami University, dancing on tables, having a blast. My friends are all over, hitting me up like, dude, come down and visit. And I'm like, at least my dad named his collision shop Paul and Dean Auto Body. And I got 25%. He probably made 50 grand a year. I was probably making 12 grand a year, but I owned a piece of this. At least I wasn't the complete, not go to college loser.
Right.
And I knew there was more. Me and my dad fought a lot. We did, because he had his old ways and I thought I had visionary ways, and he thought I was young and dumb, and I thought he was old and stuck in his ways, right? But my dad, long story short, he's the youngest of 12 and got beat as a young kid and never worked on that. Bipolar, up and down. He went through his 4th divorce and gave up on life. Closed the collision shop, checked himself in someplace, and they wouldn't let him out because then he got really mad and he just went away and he said, I'm letting it all go work at a factory, you're done. So imagine, no matter what age you are, at least I had that hope. So now I'm using a credit card to pay my dad's mortgage so he doesn't lose his house while he's in some place that they won't let him out. I moved all the stuff out of my dad's collision shop. I find this barn, a 100-year-old barn on the property where I was living. I put a wood stove in it, I put a compressor in it, I put the tools in it, and I'm working on people and friends' cars, changing brakes, doing motor jobs, changing oil, painting, and I'm just like, and this is the part where I wanted to get into, and it's the 2 voices I'm still fighting to this day inside of me. The voice that said, see, you're not that smart. You probably should have went to college. Your friends are smart. You didn't come from money. Your parents don't have money. This is where you belong. You're going to make $500, $800 a week the rest of your life. I had that voice saying we're screwed and wanting to feel depressed. But I was lucky enough to also have this other voice that would say, screw that. I don't care what everybody else does. I don't care how much. I don't care I don't have a college degree. In fact, because I don't have a college degree, because I have dyslexia, because people think I can't, because I'm an underdog, watch everybody. I mean, even in 12th grade, my little slogan under my name was, you don't hear me now, but someday you'll hear me roar.
I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more. I'm gonna take my horse through the old town road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more.
I got the horses in the bag, horse stock is attached. Head is matted black, got the bushes black to match. Riding on a horse, ha, you can whip your Porsche. I've been in the valley, you ain't been up off that porch. Now, can't nobody tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing. Can't nobody tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing. Riding on a tractor, lean all in my bladder. Cheated on my baby, you can go and ask her. My life is a movie, but riding in cowboy hat from Gucci, Wrangler on my. Can't nobody tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing. Can't nobody tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing.
Yeah, I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more. I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more. Hat down, cross town, living like a rock star. Spend a lot of money on my brand new guitar. Baby's got a habit, diamond rings and Fendi sports bras. Riding down Rodeo in my Maserati sports car. Got no stress, I've been through all that. I'm like a Marlboro man, so I keep going back. Wish I could roll on back to that old town road. I wanna ride till I can't no more. I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more. I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more.
Dope.
Leo Messi buscando a Eto'o, la baja Eto'o dentro del área, Eto'o la saca la banda, ahí va Zambrotta, atención al balón.
Good morning, Believe Nation and Determination. Yesterday, we looked at you as being the CEO of your life, making decisions that will propel you towards your infinite mind wealth. Today, I want us to look at ourselves as player one in the ultimate game, the mind game. And how do we win the mind game? Because once we do, we can have anything we can ever dream of or desire. We have to realize we are a magnet. So you're in this game today and each and every day, you are a magnet. And you have the two greatest weapons. You have believe, you have determination. Those two things are weapons that you use to attract all positive things. So all positive thoughts. You do this over and over in the game, and eventually you will suffocate all the negative thought space that's in your mind and win the mind game. Have a great day, everybody.
How can people begin to attract the life that they want?
To bring abundance into your life, you have to be cultivating an abundant mindset. And so a really easy way to start is to list the things that you're grateful for that you already have. And as part of attracting things into your life or manifestation, imagine it being true. Imagine what it would look like, feel like, smell like. And then when you have that vision in your mind, give gratitude for it becoming true. So then it sets you on a path of, I'm grateful for the things that I've got. These are the things that I want. And you're staying positive and abundant and grateful, and that's much more likely to attract those good things into your life.
Need motivation?
Watch a top 10 with the Believe Nation.
Hey, it's Evan Carmichael, and I make these videos because I need them for me, because I want to wake up every day and watch a video that puts me in a mindset to believe in myself more and go off and accomplish amazing things and attack the day. And I hope that this video does that for you as well. So today, let's learn from one of the best, Dr. Tara Sword-Bieber, and my take on her top 10 rules of success. Enjoy. Rule number 2 is consume information mindfully.
that most of the neuroscientists that I know, all the ones I know personally and other ones that I've heard of, don't watch the news or read newspapers.
That's powerful.
And it's not because we don't want to be informed, because obviously we do manage to stay informed in other ways of important events around the world. But if you just look at the nature of news, the proportion of it that is bad news and the impact that that has on your brain is disproportionate. So the first thing is to curate your news feeds, your social media feeds, so that you're not getting bombarded with so much bad news, and you balance that out for yourself. Of course, life can be hard. So yes, you have to be resilient as well. But the first thing is to take charge of what you're actually feeding your brain. And that's everything from your diet to information.
Rule number 3 is visualize.
If I could give people a takeaway to start with that's really simple, but it doesn't mean there isn't a lot of hard work at the other end of it, it would be very clear on what it is that you want. So you've mentioned a few things. Spend 5 minutes sitting down and visualizing those things being true, and then give gratitude for that. That would be my first step.
Give gratitude for
those things being true. Just 5 minutes. I'm a great partner. I'm not messy. My podcast is super successful. Like, see it, feel it in your body, taste it in your mouth, hear it in your ears. Completely immerse yourself in that for 5 minutes, longer if you can. And then just be so grateful for all of that. Essentially what you're doing is moving your brain from a fear state to a trust state. And that is the gateway to making these changes.
Rule number 4 is eliminate negative thoughts.
What are some steps that somebody can take to begin to like rewire some of these negative thought patterns, whether it's I'm not enough, this is never going to happen, I'm not good enough, so that they can have their actions align with their thoughts?
Great question. And, there is a lot of that negative self-talk around. And it's important to understand for a start that that's normal, that everybody has that kind of thought, or like periods of time where they may have more of those types of thoughts. And it's quite hard when you're already in that negative spiral to really try to turn it around. I do want to get back to resilience in a while, because your podcast is called The Adversity Advantage. So we should also speak about what to do when, it feels like nothing's happening or things have gone wrong. But let's say, it's a regular day and sometimes it crosses your mind that kind of, goal is not going to happen for you. Doesn't happen to people like me, or that's for kind of, other people. So when you have a recurring negative thought, there's usually a very firmly held belief underneath it that drives that thought. So, it could be to do with worthiness, deservingness. And so it's important for people to kind of dig underneath the recurring negative thought and ask themselves, what is it that I must believe about myself to keep having that thought? And often it's very non-conscious, because it may come from childhood and, that pathway's been there for so long that you're not even aware of it. If you can do the journaling or the therapy or the self-reflection to understand what the belief is that's driving your thought, then you can create a positive affirmation or a mantra that's the opposite statement to that belief. And you can repeat that every time you have the thought, so that you're basically trying to overwrite that pathway in your brain with this new, more positive thought. And that's an interesting one, because in the brain, you can't undo what's already wired in there. You have to overwrite it or replace it with something that you'd prefer.
Also, to make sure you're actually taking action after watching this video, I've designed a special free worksheet just for this video. The worksheet will highlight all of the lessons learned in this video, as well as pull out our 3 favorite learnings and quotes that will inspire you to actually do something. The worksheet will also give you space to write down what your key takeaways are and your specific plan of action to make sure you're getting results. If you want the worksheet designed specifically for this video, absolutely for free, there's a link in the description below. Go click on it and start building the momentum in your life and your business. I'll see you there. Rule number 5 is build neuroplasticity.
here we are again, ending the way we begun today together. Knowing the truth, though, that nothing ever ends, nothing is ever over. Determination is never over, never done. Because we are an energy. We are one energy. The way we take control of our breathing in this moment, the way we did our best today on all the exercises and stretches we did, that's the same way, same process we can use to make the best decisions. No, not decisions, determinations. Positive choices, loving choices, peaceful, grateful, mind healthy, mind wealthy choices, determinations. We don't choose and lose, we determine and win. Just like we won again today, here, right now. Just like we're winning right here, right now, just by being our presence, who we are. By believing and truly knowing the absolute truth that can never be taken away from you by words, by actions of others, or any things, any negativity, any sort of losses, pain, suffering, lies that is taking place. Those are lies. That's not the truth of what we were all born to do and be. That's just the mind that has taken over. The collective mind, our individual minds, but we have the power. We have our determination. We have the power to separate our minds from who we really are.